Hello everybody, how's it going? This is odd, isn't it? I haven't done a video straight to camera like this in years, Jesus. Well, I felt like it was finally time to actually do this a bit one-on-one again because, yeah, we've just recently hit 80,000 subscribers on the channel. You lot are absolutely crazy, and I cannot thank you enough for getting me to such a ridiculous number. It blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. But today, folks, we have got a Q&A. A lot of you folks have been asking a lot of questions about me, about the grind, about everything in general, and I thought now is the perfect time to kind of address some of the more popular questions so that you folks can basically get as much information about what's happening, what's to come, and what maybe not to expect in the future as well. I think that's a fairly simple premise, so let's get straight into it. So as you might know, a little while ago, I posted on my community post just basically asking you folks to ask some questions. I did the same in my Discord, so I just gathered like the most repeated and popular questions out of both of those, and we're going to answer some of them today, including some questions I know you folks are very keen to know the answer to. Payday 2. So let's start with one of the biggest questions that I always get, which is, why am I the son of Jazzy? Who's Jazzy? Why am I the son of him? And the meaning is quite literal. Jazzy's my dad. So when I was younger and me, my dad and my mum used to play Modern Warfare 2 and all the CODs together, we basically had two separate accounts, me and them. They had a combined shared one. My name was a little bit all over the place. I've had several names, but my dad's was Jazzy Wazek. And I decided, I like that. I'm the son of Jazzy. And then it's kind of like a little, I just thought it was nice, and then I kind of ran with it, stuck with it, and I've been the son of Jazzy ever since. So literally, Jazzy is my dad, I am the son of Jazzy, and I got it because we used to play COD together back when I was like 14, so there we go. What is my favourite game ever made, and will I ever grind it? And my favourite game, without question, always has been, is a game called Banjo-Kazooie. I honestly, it's weird because I don't know I couldn't really tell you why. I think it is a hell of a lot of nostalgia. I've played the game hundreds of times. It's just, I think it's my comfort game. No matter what I'm doing, no matter where I am, I just know that if I ever boot up Banjo-Kazooie, I'm going to have a good time. And I also think it was one of the very first games that I got into when I started gaming, so I feel like that game also surmounted the fact that I like this. I like gaming. So Banjo-Kazooie, absolutely there will be a grind for it. However, I have always said, I've been streaming for about 5 years now, and I have always said that I am not ever going to do Banjo-Kazooie until I reach partner. And we're getting there. My lord, we're getting there. So absolutely it will become a grind eventually, but it won't be until I reach partner on Twitch. Link in the description. But so Banjo-Kazooie, but my favourite series of games ever made as well, the games that get me so unbelievably hype right now, is Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is my favourite game series of all time. I just adore the bones of it. And yeah, it's weird considering I've never really played Tekken, I've never really played Street Fighter, but Mortal Kombat, there's just something in it that I absolutely adore, and I am so excited for Mortal Kombat 1. And will there ever be a grind for Mortal Kombat games? Absolutely there will. Absolutely there will. Not too sure when, but 100%. So speaking of favourites, the next question that I get quite often is what is my favourite grind that I've done for the channel so far, and what is my favourite video that I've made for the channel? And these are two different answers. So my favourite grind personally for the channel so far is actually Dishonored 2. Now, I think it's because of the case that I never really liked Dishonored, so to go from that to now it being a really good series that I hope we get to continuation of in the future. But I love Dishonored 1, but there was just something about Dishonored 2 that was just perfect. Like, the characters were great, the location was fantastic, the powers were great, the story, like, all of it. I just love Dishonored 2. I really, really do. So that, without question, has been my favourite grind, because it's also a little bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. So, yeah, Dishonored 2 has been my favourite grind. However, my favourite video, honestly, I think my favourite video would probably have to be my Mirror's Edge DLC one, only because that is the hardest grind that I have done yet on the channel, and to be fair, in general, like, that game broke me. And I also think because not necessarily it's so plot heavy, the fact that you can actually have more gameplay, more snippets, and I don't know, I just feel like sometimes when I re-watch my content to see what I could do differently, what I can improve on, I fairly like the way that I formatted that one. So favourite grind so far, Dishonored 2, favourite grind video, Mirror's Edge DLC. But to be fair, I pretty much like all of my content, not in a vain way, but if I don't enjoy it, I will upload it. So if I've uploaded it, there's chances are that I'm happy with it and that I enjoy it. I hope you understand. And the next question is very simply, how long does it take to make my videos? So obviously it depends on the video, but since I'm a one-man team, I do everything myself. From script writing to editing to thumbnails to uploading to everything is to me. And I kind of like it like that because every step of the process I'm able to kind of put my little spin on things, my format, my phrasing, a couple of jokes that I might make in there. And I kind of don't want to get rid of that. I love working on it, even if it is just a one-man team. But if I was to kind of sum up the entire process into one blob, excluding how long the game takes to grind, so if you combine script writing, voice recording, editing, uploading, thumbnail, all of that kind of stuff, it works out about a day's work gets me 10 minutes into a video. So all of the process, if I work on it for a day, I will probably end up with about 10 minutes worth of footage done. Now, it does take a little bit of time. I don't mind, obviously, editing. I love editing. It's my happy place. It's what I've always kind of done, so I don't mind that. And sometimes it can get a little bit intense. If a video is 50 minutes long, that obviously is going to take a hell of a lot longer to make than a 20-minute video, so each one is obviously different, but I would say about 10 minutes per day on average. Now we're getting to an important question that I feel like a lot of people would like to know. So, one of the questions I get the most is, what are the limits to the grind? Are there any games in the sin bin? Are there any stuff that I just outright won't do? And honestly, the list of stuff that I won't do is quite small. The way that I've got it in my head, and don't even get me wrong, there's some exceptions to this rule, is ideally I want to be playing games between 5 and 200 achievements. I feel like that's kind of the good gist. Anything more than that is a little bit too much, anything less than that is maybe not good enough. So between 5 and 200 is always where I try and kind of find the niche. Of course, there's probably going to be cases in the future where I don't adhere to that rule, where there'll be 3 achievements or 300, whatever the case may be. And the reason for that is just so that I can make good content out of it, because making a video out of a game with 400 achievements, for example, or 600 achievements, whatever the case may be, the video will be terrible, because I like to go into it, I like to summarize the plot, I like to throw some jokes in, I like to basically step by step do my entire process and kind of have it as like a journey throughout. And if a game has 400 achievements, that's going to be a lot of me going, and then I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this, and that's not fun for everybody. That's not good content. So there's only 3 games, or 2 games and 1 style of games, that I will not cover. The first game that I'm not going to be doing is The Binding of Isaac. It has too many achievements, all of the achievements are RNG related, and there isn't enough time in the day for that. Like, don't get me wrong, I probably could grind it, but I don't want to put 400, 500 hours into a one game and one grind, when I can maybe cover an entire series with that instead, that is a lot more enjoyable, and a lot better structure-wise, so that when I make it into a video, you folks can enjoy it. So yeah, Binding of Isaac, probably not going to happen. So the next kind of game in the sin bin is more of a category that has been requested a lot, and that is the cookie clicker games. A lot of people have been asking for cookie clicker, adventure capitalist, that kind of stuff, where all you really do is click on the screen and eventually achievements pop. I'm not going to be doing videos on those at all. However much I can appreciate people wanting me to do those because they've got hundreds of achievements and whatnot, they are just not fun to me. I get so bored of them, and not only that, because I don't mind playing stuff that I know will bore me, but again, if I was to try and make that into content, it would be terrible. There would be nothing to talk about. I clicked this, I clicked that for so long, then this popped, and then I start carrying. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So unfortunately, cookie clicker or any cookie clicker type games is just not going to be happening whatsoever, I'm afraid. And that leads us to the next question, which is probably the most requested game on the channel. But every single time that I upload, every single day, I will get at least 5 comments asking to cover this game. And the game, of course, is Payday 2. Everybody has been asking for Payday 2. And I don't think everyone's genuine with it, because I think a lot of people are just saying it for the joke of, you know, it's Payday 2. But I do know that there's some people out there that genuinely want me to cover it. The problem with Payday 2 is it has 1,327 achievements. I can't cover that. I can't do that, folks. It is too much. It is far too much. And at the end of the day, even if I was to do it, what kind of video would I make out of that? It'd be 5, 6, 7 hours long, and it would me going, I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this, and that would be awful. It isn't worth the time that I'd put into it. So unfortunately, folks, and I know this is going to let a couple of people down, but Payday 2 is probably not going to be happening, except on one condition. I said a couple of months ago, and I'm going to say it here so that it's cemented and written down, I will cover Payday 2 once I reach 1 million subs. That is the unlock requirement for me to start the Payday 2 grind. I have no idea how the hell I'm going to cover it, but when I reach 1 million subscribers on my YouTube channel, I will start the Payday 2 grind. So until then, it isn't going to happen in any way, shape or form. I would say don't ask for it. I know that people are going to ask for it, but just so that I've audibly said and that you folks are aware, it isn't going to be happening until I reach 1 million subscribers. So if you want to see it, best get subscribing, aren't you? And that leads to the next question as well, is will I ever upload my VODs? Will I ever take the footage that I do and put it somewhere? And I can understand this, but the short answer is it's very unlikely. I kind of have a lot on my plate when it comes to editing for this channel. I always want to make sure that I hit 1 video a week at least. I'm trying to aim for 2, and I feel like I'm definitely getting the ball rolling on that, as you can no doubt see. But with editing VODs for a separate channel, it would take so much longer and so much more of my time that quite frankly I don't have. And not even if I did have the time for it, I feel like one of the things that I really like to do is to separate my YouTube and my Twitch. And however much I can appreciate not everybody wants to come to Twitch to watch live streams of the grinds and stuff, on my YouTube that's where you get the edited, the full version of the grind from A to Z on all of the achievements and that kind of stuff. But if you want to watch the process, if you want to make sure that you can see every little step of the way, everything that I do, that's kind of what my Twitch is for. So I don't think that even if I did have the time to edit VODs for a second channel that I would, because that's kind of what my Twitch is for. And we do have VODs on the Twitch as well. So I know like Stray Metro's on there. If you do want to go back and watch the entire grind, you are free to do so. It'll be on my Twitch, but not on my YouTube. And of course, this won't be the case for the offline grinds. For those of you that don't know, I grind 4 games at the same time. I do 2 on stream and 2 off stream. So if I ever cover games off stream, the VODs won't appear. I have to delete the footage pretty much as soon as I've edited it, because the amount of footage that I get from these grinds is simply insane. So however much I can appreciate people wanting to see the VODs, unless you come into Twitch, I'm sorry, but VODs probably aren't going to be happening. So weirdly enough, a question that I wasn't so expecting to be asked a couple of times was basically where am I from and what did I do before the achievement grind and whatnot. So I'm originally from Hull, a little place in Yorkshire. It is a dump, but I love it. So yeah, I am a Yorkshire boy. I know a lot of people ask if I'm Scottish. I've had a couple of Irish, I've had a couple of Australians. I get it, the accent's weird. I'm Yorkshire, I'm from Hull, and I'm not living there anymore. I do live in Manchester now. I moved many years ago. But yeah, I'm a Yorkshire boy. And what did I do before this? Honestly, quite a lot. I have been quite busy in my life, mainly a bartender. I've been a bartender for the past 10 years, but my most recent job that I had before I left to do this full time was that I was also a video editor for a social media company that basically makes videos for YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and that kind of stuff as well. And I've been editing, doing YouTube and Twitch. Honestly, YouTube I've been doing since I was 13, Twitch I've been doing for the last 5 years, so no matter what job I've had, I've always had my toe in the editing pond. So from serving arseholes in a bar to then an editing job and now being able to do this full time, it is genuinely, I know it's such a cliche to hear a YouTuber saying I'm living the dream, but Jesus folks, you have no idea how much I appreciate the fact that all of you lovely lot are able to let me do this and basically live and have this as my full-time job. It's mental. And yeah, that's again why I need to thank you lovely lot for giving me your time, because without you, none of this would be possible. So again, thank you. Another question that I get quite a bit is what got me into achievement hunting? How did this journey start for me? It started the first day that I got my Xbox 360. So I got my Xbox 360 for Christmas on my birthday, whatever the case may be. And inside was a copy of Viva Pinata and a copy of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I threw Banjo-Kazooie into the Xbox, and then in the first 10 minutes of the game, you get an achievement. And when this popped, my mind was blown. I was like, I like this. I don't know what that was, 10 gamer score, don't know what it is, but I want more of that. Ever since then, I have been pretty much a die-hard achievement hunter for pretty much all of my gaming life from that point onwards. I think it's just the fact of bragging rights to be able to say, I have done this, I have perfected this game, I've got the 100%, I've got this really difficult achievement. It was always something that I wanted to do for bragging rights, because me and my friends used to be quite competitive with achievements as well. We'd race each other on COD to see who could complete the campaign on Veteran first, or we'd all band together and do Halo Halo Legendary or something like that. So it's always been something that I've been doing. However, professionally, if you can say that, ever since I did my first Dishonored video, I've just really gotten back into love with it. And because now my job's achievement hunting, technically, it's something that I love to do, and they feed into each other quite nicely. So I get to scratch that itch of having the 100%, and then I also hopefully get to make some nice content out of it for you lovely folks. So yeah, always been an achievement hunter ever since the 360 days. And from that question, we have the final one, is what was the first game that I ever got to 100%? And it is a game that I love to pieces and that will absolutely be covering one day when I re-go for the 100%. But the first game that I ever got 100% on was actually Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Oblivion is one of my absolute favourite games for the 360. Really weird take because I'm not the biggest fan of Skyrim. I would much rather play Oblivion again. I just have a much better time with it. But I remember so distinctly getting that final achievement on Shimogorath's Island or whatever his name is. It's been years since I've played it. And then for other consoles, so my first 360 one was Oblivion, my first Steam 100% was Mortal Kombat 11, my first PlayStation was Ratchet & Clank 1, and I think that's it. Yeah, Nintendo for some reason just doesn't do them. Nintendo. Now, something else that I wanted to talk about before the end of the video is that no doubt you folks have a lot of requests. Every single video that I do, you folks are amazing and you fill the comments with games that you want to see, that you want to see me struggle with, that you want to see me fall in love with, whatever the case may be. You folks are wonderful with that, but there isn't enough time in the day to basically go through every single suggestion, go, yes, I'll be playing that series, no, I will be playing that series. So what I'll do is I'm going to refer you to a video that I made a couple of months ago when I quit my job. I basically did a huge announcement trailer saying that this is what I've done, this is what to expect. And in that, I basically put in about 20 or 30 series that are guaranteed confirmed that hopefully I'll be able to tackle within the next year. So if you folks haven't watched that but want to know some games that will be coming in the future, feel free to go check that out. A couple of on the list are the Borderlands series, Far Cry, Resident Evil, Kingdom Come Deliverance. There's honestly so many in there. So if you haven't watched it and you're curious on where the channel's going to go in the future, go swing by that. It's only like 2 minutes long and you will understand a lot of the series that we will be doing eventually, hopefully. Well, that's it from me today, folks. I don't want to ramble on too much. I'm sure you're all bored out your gourds right now. However, I just want to say thank you so much again for 80,000 subscribers. That number is crazy, and I cannot thank you enough for giving me your time of day, giving me your support, watching the videos, enjoying the content, swinging by my Twitch. It genuinely means the world for me and make sure that I can do this. Now, don't worry, there are plenty more videos coming, so make sure that you subscribe to see all of the stuff that I'm going to be bringing you. I am really working hard to bring you folks some awesome content that I'm really happy with. Some stuff that I'm not ready to announce yet, some stuff that I'm not ready to tease yet, but some stuff's coming, let me tell you that. Some stuff is coming. But folks, just again, thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this little snippet into me as an achievement hunter in the channel. If you have any more questions, I might do another Q&A. I'm not opposed to that. So if there's anything else that you want to know, leave it down below. You know what to do. And yeah, folks, thank you all so much again for everything. I really appreciate it. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye for now.